Derek Bros with the Conscious Resistance Network. Today I want to talk to you about a recent study that discusses compassion and how that might play a role in changing the world towards a more free place. So this is from the Washington Post. It's called Wired for Kindness. Science shows we prefer compassion and our capacity grows with practice. So basically they studied infants and found that 80 to 100% of infants and toddlers up to 2 years old prefer to stare at or look at someone who is giving them a kind look as opposed to a mean look. And so this research suggests a couple of things. It was part of a series of studies by Kylie Hamlin at the University of British Columbia, suggesting that we come into this world wired to prefer kindness. The data adds to research challenging the assumption that self-interest alone guides us through life, painting human nature as a mix of self-interest and compassion. And converging data strongly suggests we can get better at strengthening the better side of our nature. So they say self-interest and compassion. Now to me this kind of goes to the discussion where some people say that humanity is more meant to be competitive, others say cooperative. I think it's probably a mix of that you can find value obviously in us cooperating together, but also competition does push people to do greater, bigger, better things. So there's value in both, but of course the importance of compassion cannot be forgotten. This is why I often talk about wisdom, compassion, and action, and it's discussed in my book, The Conscious Resistance, Reflections on Anarchy and Spirituality. Basically, the idea is that you can be wise and knowledgeable about the things going on in the world, but if you don't have compassion, then you're not really going to give a shit about helping other people and making the world a better place, at least not for anyone else beyond yourself. Now, you can be all compassionate and understand the value and caring and concern for other individuals and yourself, but if you don't have any of that wisdom, then you're just running around all heart being led astray. That's also not a good place to be. But if you have wisdom and compassion together, that is awesome. It's amazing. But without action, applying action and seeking and creating that change and spreading it to others, then you're basically just sitting around with this wisdom and compassion from a balanced state, but you're not doing anything with it. So you need wisdom, compassion, and action. So I think that relates to this study here. They go on to say, let me see. They talk about the Dalai Lama, saying that the Dalai Lama has urged people to embrace compassion. And here they write, the Dalai Lama adds that mobilizing our compassion just might provide us much of the fuel needed to tackle humanity's most daunting challenges, from economic and racial inequity to the slow-motion species suicide our environmental impacts may bring. Some of the evidence that compassion can be cultivated comes from studies on social emotional learning, or SEL programs, that complement the standard emphasis on academics with age-attuned lessons in self-awareness, managing upset emotions, empathy, relation skills, and smart life decisions. That sounds like something they should probably be teaching kids everywhere. Think about this. I mean, this is what we talk about in the book. This is why most people don't think an anarchist free society is possible, because they're like, oh, everybody's so screwed up. But if we took time and if we had school institutions, whether state mandated, hopefully not state mandated, whatever they are though, that would focus on these things rather than this rigid, monopolistic, structured learning system that they assume one size fits all, everybody's going to learn the same way. Bullshit. You need to have real skills, and this sounds like this social emotional learning is working on managing upset emotions, self-awareness, empathy, relationship skills. Those are all important things that each person, each of us as individuals should learn to develop so that we can deal with each other in a more appropriate way and not have these anger and these various issues and hang-ups that we have. One SEL program called Mind Up increased not just empathy in elementary school students, but also upped the number of their actual acts of kindness, increasing acts of kindness, according to a study published in January in the journal Developmental Psychology. A meta-analysis of such studies with a total of 270,000 school children and teenagers found that SEL programs on average social activities like helping others and positive attitudes about school itself by 10%. Maybe we don't want them liking school. While antisocial indicators like fights and bullying dropped 10%. These programs, supporters say, have increased positive human capacities, help inoculate children against harmful aspects of competition they are likely to encounter. goes on and on. And yeah, so compassion gives us the ability to be empathetic, to increase acts of kindness. Encouraging that in other people, encouraging that in the youth is a huge thing. If you're a parent, that's obviously something you want to try to instill in your kids. I can say that as somebody who came from a very dark, angry, depressed background, most of the friends that I've had that have known me for more than 10 years have seen this massive change in me since I got locked up and went through drug addiction, all that stuff, to basically becoming more optimistic. And it was funny when I started to make that transition, certain people were sort of rejective of it, like, whoa man, I can't handle your positive nature all the time, what happened to you? And now it's just become my norm, and I've seen that inspire other people and that radiate outwards to other people. So just remember that your positive attitude, your compassion, using that in your everyday communication, being mindful, being empathetic, being supportive of other people and of yourself, is a huge thing, and that helps us move closer towards creating that more free world. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good shiz. And thanks for listening. If you can hear this, you are the resistance. Peace.